Hello and welcome everyone to today's video. So today's video is another episode of my 10 Ways to Style series. I felt like I couldn't let this summer end without showing you 10 ways to style shorts. So today I'm going to share a little bit about the history of shorts with you. We're going to see where they originated and how they became so popular in the 60s and 70s, and then I'm going to show you 10 different styles that were popular at the time and how I like to style them. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you do, I would love you to subscribe to not miss out on any further parts. So let's get started with the video. Today, almost all women and men have at least one pair of shorts in their wardrobe. But originally, they were mainly worn by schoolboys. As times have changed though, so too have shorts. Over the past 200 years, the summer staple has evolved, spawning a variety of different styles including shorts, swim trunks, and Daisy Dukes. So let's take a look at the history of shorts. We're gonna start in the 1800s, where the history of shorts originates with schoolboys who wore them as part of their uniform. They evolved from baggy breeches called knickerbockers, a longer style of shorts that hit the calves. Knickerbockers were also popular among athletes in the 19th century. Another well-known form of shorts, dating back to at least the 1800s, are lederhosen. Bavarians and Austrians wore them as workwear, though in modern times they're more commonly used as costumes for the Oktoberfest, which by the way happens kind of close to where I live. As trends shifted in the early 20th centuries, women began wearing knickerbockers as casual and outdoor attire. Additionally, bathing suits resembling onesies became common for women's swimwear. Athletes also continued to sport shorts. 1925 saw the invention of elastic boxer shorts. Bermuda shorts are thought to have been invented by Nathaniel Coxon, a tea shop owner. In 1940, his employees began wearing hemmed versions of pants to beat the summer heat. Around the same time, knee-length Bermuda shorts were adopted by British soldiers stationed in hotter climates. Culottes, skirts with boy shorts attached underneath, were an earlier form of the skirt. Paul Perel is credited with creating culottes in 1911, but variations of the short skirt combo were worn by female bicyclists as early as the 1890s. In the 1930s, women increasingly began to wear shorts, especially for athletic purpose. These included Bermudas as well as early variations of short shorts. Adoption of these styles caused a big controversy in some parts of the US. In 1933, shorts became illegal in Yonkers. New York and the time of Homestead, Pennsylvania banned shorts in 1938. Homestead is a modest town, not a bathing beach, said a city official in Missouri's Moberly Monitor Index. In the 1940s, pinup girls turned Hollywood stars such as Patty Grable and Marilyn Monroe frequently wore short shorts cut to the upper thigh. Women continued wearing them for sporting events, but they also adopted short shorts as a form of casual wear. While Yonkers' ban on shorts was repealed in 1942, states like Texas and Illinois introduced their own bans. A 1944 city ordinance in Monaghan, Texas, prohibited women from wearing shorts in public. In summer of 1945, women weren't allowed to wear shorts in Illinois cities including Decatur and Vandalia. By the 1950s, shorts were worn regularly by men and women. The decade also saw a major innovation in the history of shorts: the introduction of swim trunks. Hawaiian surfers began wearing board shorts in the 50s, and they were eventually adopted by men worldwide. The 1960s brought war, politics, hippies, liberation, festivals, and homemade jean shorts. It was anything goes and minds that felt free to question authority. As casual wear became more widely acceptable in the 1970s, the demand for denim soared. As early as the 1960s, people began cropping their jeans, turning them into raw hem cutoffs. Cutoffs were commonplace by the 1970s, with a new, even shorter style dubbed Daisy Dukes, named after Catherine Batch's character Daisy Duke in the television series The Duke of Hazzard. In the 1970s, Women Wear Daily coined the term hot pants, which described tight-fitting shorts made from a variety of different fabrics, including velour, corduroy, and leather. Upper thigh gazing styles originated in the 1930s, but they made a major comeback in the decade of disco. And different types and cuts of shorts have been popular ever since. I feel like not a decade since then has gone by without shorts being in fashion in one way or another. So let's take it back to the 60s and 70s. Let me show you some of the most popular style of shorts and how I like to style them. them. Let's start around the mid-60s. So at that time, shorts weren't really super short, but rather saw a little bit of in-seam. So not the super short hot pants that you see a lot nowadays, but shorts that were a little longer were popular. So were more boxy styles. And I have this pair of quilted corduroy shorts with the most amazing flower print. I love them. They're a little warmer, so they're also great for the winter. These were also often worn with colorful tights, as a lot of popular 60s styles saw. I personally love these. I've been wearing them a lot, and what I really wanted to do when styling them was to accentuate on the purple in these shorts. Therefore, I decided to go with this purple knitted short-sleeved turtleneck. I love these, and they were actually really popular in the 60s. All sorts of turtlenecks obviously wear, but especially short-sleeved one have always had a really big reputation in the 60s. I also decided to go with some purple tights. I do have a lot of colorful vintage tights. If you ever go into a thrift store, make sure to check out the tights section, because they usually have a lot of tights that are vintage from the 60s and 70s, and they're usually still in their original packaging. And you can normally get them for €1 or €2, so make sure to keep your eyes open. I also decided to add white as another feature color of this outfit, and I decided to go with these little shoes by Mod Shoes. They're just a very classic pair of Mary Janes. I love them with the cutout detail. I think they're really cute and just perfect for the look. And last but not least, to resemble the white, I also went with this necklace. I love this one. It was gifted to me by Mindflowers, and it's just so dreamy with the dangles going down. So I felt like this was the perfect piece to finish off the outfit. So as said, something that was really popular in the 60s were denim cutoffs. And in the beginning, people would just cut off all of their denim and make them into shorts. You would see this both on men and women, and as the decade progressed, you would also have hemmed shorts. So the next pair that I'm showing you is probably from the late 60s, because these are really short. These are probably considered Daisy Dukes. I have this pair, and what I love about this is that you can probably tell that it is missing the upper part. A lot of shorts have like a little part up here, which these ones don't, and they're a great vintage pair. They just fit me really well, and I feel like with denim in the 60s, both looser cuts and tighter cuts were popular. These are a little loose, but really short, and so I really wanted to style them in a late 60s hitchhiker kind of way. I started by adding this crocheted top. Crocheted tops were really popular, and I love how airy and light this one is. This might not quite fit the weather, but these hats were really popular in the 60s. I got this one gifted by my step-grandmother, and I honestly love it. I feel like it adds a really nice hippie Woodstock feel to any outfit. I also decided to add a vest, and I have this beautiful suede one. I love the long fringe going down here. I feel like this is just the perfect hippie piece. Always reminds me of Jimi Hendrix, Buffalo Springsteen, that sort of look. And it honestly just is perfect for a 60s festival look. I also added this belt, which is just made from little round suede pieces, and I honestly love the different colors, and I really wanted to play with different tones of beige and brown for this look. I also added this really cute little purse. I love this one, and tulip leather was a big trend of the 60s, so I felt like this one worked perfectly with the outfit. I also really wanted to add some glasses, so I went with these. I think they're just really nice. I like that they don't have a frame. A lot of glasses with big frames were popular in the 60s, but these round ones without a big frame were popular too. For jewelry, I kind of wanted to keep it simple with this coin necklace and then these little earrings. I love the detailing on these. I think they're so beautiful, and they do have that like magical psychedelic hippie touch. And then for shoes, there was only one pair in question, my beloved cowboy boots. These are just perfect. They're so comfortable. They're a vintage pair from the 1960s, as is anything from this outfit. So yeah, I honestly love them, and I think they go great with the look. Next up, let's talk about something that was popular all throughout the 60s, and that was matching sets. No matter if it was shorts and tops, if it was a dress with a jacket, anything that was a 2 or 3 part set was popular in the 60s. So I have these shorts made from this really nice thick cotton. You can see that they kind of have a balloon shape. They have little elastics around the legs, and they have like a very voluminous shape. And these were actually worn with a top, And shorts like these were often worn with tops or with tops that had a length where it was kind of like a micro mini dress, and so in case it would slip up or you would bend down, you would be covered because you had a matching pair of shorts. And I do have this little baby doll top that goes with it. I love this. It is so colorful and fun, and so I really wanted to style this outfit. I feel like if I weren't only 5'3", this would definitely show the shorts a little more, but I am really short, so you can't really see the shorts underneath. However, they're there, and I really wanted to include this look because it was just a really big trend in the 60s. To style this, I kind of kept it simple with some white shoes. These are a little beat up, but they're one of my favorite pairs of platform shoes. Honestly, I love them so much. Unfortunately, the leather is kind of breaking apart, but they are made in Italy, an original vintage pair, and I will just wear them until they fall apart because they're just too beautiful to not be worn. To pick up the white, I also added these little white earrings. And then last but not least, I added this bag. I honestly love this bag. I thrifted it in Paris. There's actually a video where I thrifted it up on the channel. I love the corduroy, and then this kind of shape sawn wood was really popular in the 60s. So if you ever find a purse like this and you want to go for a 60s look, make sure to pick it up. Next up, let's talk about disco. As said prior, hot pants started to become a thing in the 70s, and one type that was really popular were these spandex kind of shorts. You've probably seen them before. They were wildly popular in the 70s. They have a little pocket in the back. Other than that, they're a really simple cut. I do have several pairs of these. I decided to style the red ones for this video, but I'm gonna put up a picture of me wearing them in black and in purple. And I used to have a pair in gold, but I gave that away in a bundle, so I don't know if I'll be able to find a picture of me wearing them. However, I love them. These are just so much fun. I honestly think you cannot get enough wear out of these. They're so cool. And for me, I really wanted to style them in a roller disco kind of way. So I decided to just go all out on the sparkle, on the color, and the fun. And just make this outfit really loud. So I decided to go with this knitted top. I think I thrifted this in Paris too. It is really cool with like the glittery yarn. And this just goes so well with the short. I also really love how this shows a little bit of midriff because I feel like it really adds to the roller girl look. Because these hot pants are so short, a lot of women actually wore them with tights, and I decided to do the same thing for this look. I went with these ones. They're glittery and from the 70s. These are kind of looking like the lurex sparkle material that was just wildly popular in the 70s. And then for shoes, I quickly thought about adding roller skates, but I don't have any, so I just went with some silver platforms. These are from the 70s and they're a dream come true. I also added a silver chain belt to dangle around my waist. I love how chain belts started to become popular in the 60s and kind of never left. I feel like one way or another, chain belts are always popular. I added another wonderful pair of earrings gifted to me by Mindflowers. These say Dancing Queen, and they were just so fitting for this look. I love them. They're just perfect for any sort of disco outfit. They also made this scarf toggle and a bunch of other beautiful jewelry. I'm gonna link them down below in case you want to check them out. And then last but not least, I added these sunglasses, which are my prized possession currently because I saw a vintage ad, I'm gonna put that up here if I find it, on Pinterest that was promoting kind of the exact same pair but in a different color. So I feel like it's perfect. I feel like sometimes you pin something on Pinterest and then years later it randomly shows up on Vinted or a thrift store or eBay, and I just had to get these. They were also pretty inexpensive and I honestly love them. They're so cool. Let's take it back to the 60s with this next pair of shorts. I have a pair of velvet shorts. Velvet was really popular in the 60s, especially with psychedelic trends, and I love the fabric and the material. It's so comfortable, so soft. I got these gifted by the Belated Beatnik. I have another pair which I'm going to show you in a second, but I will link them down below for you as well. And these actually are meant to also be worn with like a matching little micro mini dress, but I also really wanted to style them as they are because these were really popular in the 60s as well. Crushed velvet just was. I love the vibrant green color, so I figured I needed to go all out on that magical psychedelic look and create something that looks like it was sold in Pamela Curson's boutique in the 1960s. So to go with the gorgeous green shorts, I decided to add this top. This is a vintage piece from the 60s. I honestly love it. Also, if I don't say the brand of something, it is probably a vintage piece from the 1670s. I will just say that now so that I don't have to say it with every single piece. I love this one with like the detailing, and it is so simple yet so stunningly beautiful, and it has some tiny little green details, and so I figured that this would go really well with the shorts. This also always reminds me of George Harrison, because after the Beatles went to India, and even before that, George Harrison wore a lot of shirts with this sort of collar, so I feel like that's really cool. For accessories, I added a pair of tights. These have a paisley pattern and I really love them. I also added this necklace, but I decided to wear it as a headband. So kind of like this. I feel like it works really well. If you have jewelry, just try it on as different things. I also have a necklace later, which I often wear as a belt. So just if you have any jewelry at home, try it as different pieces. You will be surprised how much actually works. I also added these sunglasses, which always remind me of Patti Boyd and George Harrison, because they had a really similar pair, which they both wore and kind of shared, which actually is the same at this household. So my boyfriend definitely wears them a lot. My baby doesn't yet because he's just too little, but I'm sure when he will get older, he will also want to wear them. So these are just a family pair of sunglasses now. For jewelry, I decided to go with these earrings. If you've been on my channel for a while, you've seen them a lot. But I just love them. They're an original pair from the 60s and they are just so special. And then I also added this ring, which I got from my mom when she traveled through India. She picked it up and I just love how it has a green detail as well. This whole outfit's color palette is green, black and gold, so I feel like that worked out perfect. And then last but not least, I added these shoes. These are also in a bit of a rough condition, but I needed to pick them up because Marianne Faithfull had a really similar pair. And they're just so cute with like the little button over here, and they were really inexpensive. I got them at a random thrift store in my hometown, but I just love them. I feel like they go really well with the look. And flats were always a popular shoe choice in the 60s. From the 60s, let's go over to the 70s and let me show you a style you've probably never really seen me wear. I wanted to do a 70s sporty outfit because one kind of short that was also popular were terry cloth ones. I have these. I've had them for so long. I love to wear them. They're so soft, they're so comfortable, and these are just perfect for so many different looks, but I usually just wear them around the house with like a random band tee or something. So I decided to style them as an outfit that kind of goes as everyday wear. And I decided to go with a really sporty look because athleisure and sporty looks were really popular in the 70s. So the first piece that I styled with it is this vintage Adidas tee. It is just the classic cut. I feel like they've made this for decades. They started making this in the 70s, so it's really fitting. And I just really like this shirt. It is so simple, there's nothing special about it, but it just goes really well with the shorts and the rest of the look. I also added this jacket, which I also thrifted in Paris. I did some research, and from what I can tell, it is probably from the late 60s, and it is most likely like a high school sports team jacket. It has this little flag right here, so if anyone knows what school or district or whatever this might be from, please let me know. I would be really interested in knowing. It is also a size 4 or 180, whatever that means. It's a little big on me, but I really like it. It also has like a little hidden pocket down here, which I think is really cute. But these sort of jackets were obviously popular in the 60s and 70s, and so I just wanted to style this with the look. A 70s sports outfit would not be complete without a pair of white tennis socks, so I added that. So hear me out. I tried to do some research, and I cannot tell you which year they started to make these Reebok classics. I am not a sneakerhead. I don't know anything about sneakers. I feel like to make this the most accurate for the time, you would either need to go with a pair of Nike Cortez or a pair of All-Star Converse. These were popular. I don't know about these Reeboks. I don't ever wear trainers, and my boyfriend's sister bought these pre-used, and then they were too small for her and they didn't fit, and she couldn't return them because she bought them secondhand, and I feel like they were only like 10 bucks or something. And so she was like, I have this pair of shoes, you're a mom now, don't you want to have like a pair of comfy shoes? And I gotta admit, they're pretty comfy. I don't wear them a lot because they don't go with a lot of things and clothes that I have, but I do actually like them. I also only had these baby pink laces, so that's what they are now. So please ignore that these are probably not the most accurate pair of shoes. However, something that is very accurate, because it is indeed from the 70s, is this sports bag from my stepmom. Isn't it so cool? I love how it just says sport. For some reason that's hilarious to me, and I really like it. I feel like it complements, I feel like it just completes the look, so I really like this, even though I usually don't take this to do sports, but just to travel or anything. But it is a good sturdy bag. Let's move on with another kind of short that was popular, and that were all sorts of corduroy or suede shorts. I do have 2 pairs of suede shorts. I'm gonna put up pictures right here on how I styled them, but I styled them so many times in videos before that this time I kind of wanted to change it up with these. I recently got these gifted by the Chain Design. I'm gonna link them in the description box as well, and these are so cool. They're kind of like a very soft corduroy, which is almost like velvet. I don't really know how to describe it, but it is a really cool look. And I love that it has all of these snap buttons down the front. It's a really classic cut. I got them a size larger to kind of fit me a little looser, and that worked out perfectly. As a top, I decided to do something that was really popular in the 60s and 70s, and that is to tie your own top by using a scarf. I decided to go with this one. I have worn it with another one as well. I'm gonna put up pictures right here, but I really like this one. It's embroidered, and this is actually a classic Hungarian embroidery. My family is from Hungary, so this is just really special to me. And with all the tassels, this is a very cool 60s look. I also added a bangle to go around my arm. I love the swirls on this one. It is just a really cool piece, and I love how high it sits up on my arm. And then I also added a necklace as a belt. As said earlier, you can use your jewelry however you like, and since chain belts were so popular in the 60s and 70s, try using necklaces. It usually works out really well. I also added this little bracelet to go around my wrist. And then finally, for shoes, I went with this trusty old pair of wooden platforms. They're really comfortable, they're so durable. I've had them for years, they're a vintage pair, and they're just great. And they just go so well with all sorts of outfits. Speaking of suede shorts, leather shirts were popular as well. I have this pair. I love them because they have this really cool seam in the front. I wear these all the time, and this was actually a really popular look in the 60s. So I decided to go with this blouse. I love the detailing in the front with like the little lace and the button with the little lace and this really cool collar. That's just a very classic 60s look. So are the balloon sleeves. And then I also added this vest, which is just a beloved staple of mine with these little mirrors. It's a beautiful vintage piece, and it always reminds me of Jimi Hendrix. For shoes, I decided to go with my favorite Hippie Shake laced up boots. These are just modeled after a popular pair in the 60s, and they're really comfortable, and I felt like just keeping it black and white worked perfectly for this look. I also wanted to add a purse, and so I went with this little magical one, and it holds all the jewelry I wanted to style with this look. Because since it is rather plain, I decided to go all out on the jewelry. I started by using this silver chain that has these beautiful purple beads as a belt. I also added a pearl necklace in my hair. I just really like to make use of whatever I have, so I kind of like propped it up like this in my hair. I feel like a packet of hair needles does so much for you. And then I also added this little necklace with this beautiful glass bead down here. And then I also just added a bunch of different rings, like this large one, this one with a black stone, one with the moon and the star, this one which just has little flowers, and then this one which is just like a little band. And then last but not least, I added my self-made earrings. These are modeled after a pair that Twiggy wore, and I love them. I just made them from like a little styrofoam ball, and you can see because I've been traveling so much with it, it got squished sometimes. It's not perfectly round anymore, but I feel like one day I might just go out and get new styrofoam balls. I feel like this could also be a video if you're interested in a video all about how to make your own 60s inspired jewelry. Let me know, because I've made a fair share of that. Let's continue with another Belated Beatnik outfit. As said, they're linked down below. She was really kind and gave me a code for all of you. I'm gonna put that up right here. And one thing that you have to know is that they don't only go by sizes, but you can actually send in your measurements and she will make a piece to fit you perfectly. So that's what I always do. It doesn't cost you more. Since she handmades every piece to order, it gives her the opportunity to make these pieces perfectly fitting for you. And that is just so wonderful. So this set is a two-piece cotton set, which was really popular in the 60s. I love the classic pattern. And one thing that was popular, especially in the earlier 60s and 50s, were longer and wider shorts. So these kind of tight, hot pants weren't really popular up until the late 60s or probably even the 70s. These are super comfortable, made from a really breathable cotton, and they're just great. And they also come with this little cute milkmaid top. I just feel like this is the perfect 60s countryside look, and since sets like these were really popular, I wanted to show you how I like to style them. With this one, I honestly kept it really simple. I just added a belt to kind of take, because sometimes these shorts can look a little bit like pajamas, so I like to add a belt to just make them look a little more put together. However, I also love to wear them without the belt for a more casual look. I also added these sunglasses, and they have like this, and they have these little white parts which gives them like a little shade for your shades, and I feel like that's really cool, and I thought that these would just go really well with the outfit. I also added a straw hat because that's just a summer essential. And then last but not least, decided to go with another pair of my favorite wooden heels. These are red and they just go really well with the outfit. And last but not least, let's continue with one trend that emerged in the 60s and kind of stayed popular all throughout the 60s and 70s, striped pants. Two people who were really influential on this trend were Brian Jones of the Rolling Stones and Jimi Hendrix. And I have long striped pants, but I also do have these shorts, which I feel like are great, and I love them, and I wanted to style them in like a late 60s, 70s kind of way. Because during the 60s and 70s, the mindset of clothing was a lot different. People would just make use of what they had. So if you had a pair of pants lying around and you wanted a pair of shorts, you would just cut them up. So with these, I really wanted to go for a casual look. I added this belt. This is like my everyday 1960s vintage belt made from a heavy, thick leather with a square buckle that was just a popular shape of buckle in the 60s. I also decided to go with a t-shirt. These ripped kind of t-shirts were really popular in the 60s and 70s, and this has Black Sabbath, which is a great band, and the off-white color goes great with the shorts. I also added this bag, which used to belong to my mom. And then for shoes, I really wanted to go with another pair of super tall platforms. These are so chunky and I love that look with shorts. For some reason, I feel like shorts with chunky shoes are always a great look, and these were really popular in the 60s. I just now realized that I didn't really style any like proper boots, but just know that the combination of boots and shorts was also popular. So I went with these really heavy ones, and then for jewelry and accessories, I wanted to keep it easy and simple with these black leather earrings and these round sunglasses, which I love. I feel like a lot of people always refer to the 60s as the time of the big sunglasses, but small sunglasses and like interesting shapes in general were popular as well. So yeah, that's it. That was a quick little rundown of the history of shorts and 10 styles that were popular in the 60s and 70s. I really hope you liked it. Make sure to comment down below which of these shorts was your favorite, and also what kind of shorts you really like to wear from the 60s and 70s. If you have any other clothing item you would like to see me style in this series, make sure to leave a comment down below and I will get to it as soon as possible. If you enjoyed the video, I would love you to give it a thumbs up and maybe even share it with a friend. It supports me, it supports the channel, and it would truly mean the world. I hope you have a beautiful day. Go out, enjoy the sunshine, soak in these last beautiful summer days. Take yourself some time to focus on you and your mental health today, and I will catch you in the next video. Bye everybody!